So I'm just leaving Cabela's after I went in there to preview all this stuff I could see or find that's going to be for sale on Black Friday. So stick around while I try to highlight the best deals and also point out some things that I would avoid in this sale.
Gear up and get outside.
This sale overall starts on Monday, November 25th and ends on December 1st. But actual Black Friday is on November 29th, and that is when a lot of these first deals or doorbuster deals will be taking place. That day and only that day. But there's plenty of good stuff throughout the week, so stick around to see that. Starting with fish finders, and there are a lot of fish finders in this ad, but these are a couple from Garmin. The EchoMap Ultra 2 106 SV and the EchoMap Ultra 2 126 SV. Now both of these use the exact same transducer, have a similar interface, software, and all of that. The only thing you're paying for on the 126 SV is the larger screen. It's a 12-inch screen instead of a 10-inch touchscreen. However, it's important to note that they actually both have the same screen resolution, 1280 by 800 pixels. That means on the larger screen, you are going to have a larger display, but it might look a little crisper or clearer in the smaller screen because it has just as many pixels in the same area. Both of these kits come with the LVS34 LiveScope system as well as a cable, so you should be able to put together pretty much your whole system with one or the other. It's important to note too that one with the larger screen, the 126 SV, also has a little bit heavier duty mounting bracket. But given you're getting the same dollar amount off either one, the best value is going to be the 106 SV. $1,150 off is a pretty good deal. Now I took a look at this Redhead Silent Stalker Elite Parka in the store and it's not bad at all. I think it would be pretty warm. It's got a nice soft touch to it, so it'll be pretty quiet if you're stalking through the deer woods. And it has a zip out liner, so you actually get a multiple layering system with an internal liner for some insulation, the external jacket, which is going to provide a little bit of wind and rain protection, although I wouldn't count it as waterproof. But overall, I think that's a pretty good value and a pretty good deal since you're getting $70 off. And as you can see here, the club member price is even cheaper, $90 off, making that almost a 60% discount. But to be a club member of Cabela's or Bass Pro Shops, that essentially means that you have applied for, been approved for, and accepted their credit card. That gets you into the club and gets you some exclusive pricing and also some exclusive deals on Black Friday, which I'll show in a second. Now, I checked out the flannel shirts there, and they're not bad at all. There's quite a few of them, a lot of different colors and designs. I was impressed by the solid colors. I think they're included in the sale. They were just setting them out on the tables today when I went through the store, but $10 for a decent flannel shirt is not bad at all. Take note of the extended store hours at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's this week. They're going to open Monday at 7 a.m. Tuesday through Wednesday, they'll be open at 8 a.m. Thanksgiving Day, the poor souls have to open at 8 as well, and then on Black Friday itself, they'll be open at 5 a.m. I'd rather be hunting at that hour, but if you're going to be there on Black Friday early in the morning, you might be able to grab a free gift card. They're going to be giving out a whole bunch of them at every store with random amounts between $10 and $500. Also take note that if you are part of that exclusive club, you can be eligible for an extra 15% off every Monday from November 18th, so starting already until December 23rd. 25% off to me isn't something to get overly excited about, so I'm not going to mention everything you see here. However, a few deals that I do think are good deals are probably like on this reel. That's only 25% off, but the Johnny Morris line of fishing rods and reels there are pretty decent quality. You've especially got the rods as well, those composite rods, whether it's a bait cast or a spinning rod from the Johnny Morris Carbon Light collection. $60 for a spinning reel is not too bad for a mid-grade reel. $100 is a decent price as well for a mid-grade baitcaster reel. These aren't going to be super fancy, but they are going to be decent. And if you weren't satisfied with the Garmin fish finders presented on the front page of the ad, perhaps this Humminbird will interest you. $1,200 off is pretty good for the Helix 12 Chirp Mega SI Plus GPS G4N. What a mouthful. I hope it is as interesting as its name. A 12-inch screen there as well is not bad at all, and that's quite a bit cheaper than that Garmin. And this XPS lithium-ion battery-powered cordless fillet knife at $49.98 is half off. And I think that's a good deal because that is cordless. You can take it with you on the boat. You can use it on the banks to fillet your fish and have a barbecue right as you're still fishing. That would make a nice gift or something that I wouldn't mind having myself. Now here's something that I wouldn't buy. I mean, 70 bucks off on a rangefinder sounds like a good deal, and 100 bucks is pretty darn reasonable for any rangefinder, and perhaps it's worth that, but I have tested this in the store against other rangefinders of a similar caliber and a similar price point, and this one is highly inconsistent. I also don't like the display compared to others. So even if this one looks like a great deal, I don't trust the quality of it, and I wouldn't recommend it. However, I would recommend what you see right below it. These Moultrie Mobile Edge cellular trail cameras are a whopping deal at $79.98 for a 2-pack. That's more than half off, and I think it's totally worth it. I have one of those myself. They work just fine. They do the trick. They're not overly complicated, and I think that's an excellent deal. That might even be cheaper than they had them last Black Friday, because I do remember they were on sale then too. The last doorbuster I want to highlight is this Garmin Epix Gen 2 watch at 450 bucks. Normally 800 bucks. So that's quite a discount, and that looks pretty attractive to people who are into the techie watches. However, do note that this is not the highest end watch Garmin makes. There's going to be some others that are nicer, and there's probably a newer version of this one out or coming out. So it may not be the latest and greatest in tech, but it is a GPS watch with maps on your wrist, and that might just please a lot of you. This page has several things I thought were pretty neat. One is these big cups. It seems like everybody needs a big cup these days, and so here you can get 2 for 30 bucks because you gotta have all the colors, am I right? They may not be Stanleys, but you know, who's gonna tell from the next car over? This padded chair was extra comfy when I sat on it in the store. I would love to have something like that for winter camping or ice fishing. That soft cushion is not only gonna be nice to sit on, but it's gonna provide a little bit of insulation for the colder months. I was also interested in this Dynaglow smoker. Now this looks pretty simple, but I like simple when it comes to devices like this. And at 90 bucks, $60 off, I think that's a good deal. It looks to be of decent quality to me with a sturdy handle and a nice glass door. That's something I wouldn't mind having. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see this Loco Cookers Smart Temp Kettle Grill in the store. I was hoping they'd have it there, but I didn't see it today. At 100 bucks, so compared to 400 bucks, that sounds like one sexy deal, so I would be taking a close look at that. And then Traegers are on sale. 2 different sizes. They got the 780 and the 575 pellet grills for $800 and $600 respectively. That's 200 bucks off, which is pretty good, I think, for a trusted brand that's been making those pellet grills for a while. Now, if you want more than just a basic flannel shirt, you want more of the shacket style, kind of like what I'm wearing today, they have some of those too, even with hoods, both in men's and women's at 50 bucks off. However, these were already on sale right now, pre-Black Friday, so if you want to beat the rush, you could get them for just a few dollars more. But they will be a pretty sweet deal at only around 12 bucks on Black Friday. Of course, you got the signature hat like the one I'm wearing here, and they're going to be giving them away left and right. Not really, you got to buy 2, but then you get 1 free, so you can get all the colors for you and your friendlies. I was looking for these thermal Henleys because I like myself a good Henley. However, I didn't see any of these in the store yet, so maybe they're holding out on us until the day of. But at $12 for a decent warm winter shirt, not bad to me. And who can say no to buy one, get one free on thermals? If you're looking for thermals for you, your lady, or your kids, this is a good time to get them for pretty darn cheap. Although Costco's regular price might beat them. That's most of the actual November 29th Black Friday deals that you're going to find at Cabela's or Bass Pro Shops. But do keep in mind that they've got the Santa's Wonderland going on, and they will take a free photo of your child with Santa Claus for as long as they're offering that this season. You can even reserve a spot up to 7 days in advance, although I don't believe that's required. However, if there's a line, you might want to on those popular days, like Black Friday itself. Now on to some things that are going to be available all week long, starting November 25th. There will be plenty of Bass Pro Shops or Cabela's branded clothing for the whole family. From hoodies, which I saw them stocking up in big present-like boxes right now, to beanies. So a hoodie's only going to cost 15 bucks instead of the normal 20. That's pretty cheap for any hoodie, let's be honest. I know my wife likes to get our kids some matching Christmas pajamas every year. They're going to have them for 50% off for the whole family. I touched them and they were buttery soft. Not too thick, so not too hot, and that's how I like them. If you're part of that special club, you can get these funny Christmas sweatshirts for only 10 bucks. That'll make somebody laugh. Even cheaper for kids. And then another take on the shackets, you got these Sherpa line flannel shirts, and those look pretty comfy as well. I checked them out in the store. 25% discounts on Columbia or Carhartt is decent, but it's nothing amazing, so I'm going to skip over those. However, we got more interesting options here in the men's clothing section. I really like these Henleys. 2 for $20 is a pretty sweet deal for a decent long sleeve shirt with or without the buttons. They got some nice colors as well. If you're part of that club, you can get a special discount on the Cabela's Bass Pro Shops house brand of workwear, Redhead. These jackets are kind of like Carhartt or Dickies jackets, that canvas style jacket. Taking a close look at them, I'd say they look to be a little bit lower quality and a little bit thinner material compared to a Carhartt. But you know, for most folks, it's probably going to do the job just fine. 40% off makes that a pretty attractive price. That brings this jacket, which is normally $100, down to $60, which I dare say is around a third the price of a new Carhartt. Now, every dad needs a decent set of cargo pants to fill their side pockets with nonsense, but I really liked these lined ones. I took a look at them. They feel real smooth and soft in there, and I think that would be nice to have in the wintertime to keep my old man legs warm. Moving on to the house brand Ascend, which is a little bit sportier and maybe just a notch up in quality and design compared to their Redhead house brand. We have this down hooded jacket for $80. $80 is a pretty good deal for a jacket that has real down in it, and I will say even the shell material on this felt pretty decent in the store. It's thin enough to be somewhat lightweight, but it's not so thin that it feels like it's going to tear easily on you. I would definitely give one of these a whirl if I needed a down jacket. And while I couldn't find it in the store yet, this Carhartt hoodie looked to be the most interesting Carhartt product that they have on sale. It's the Rain Defender Loose Fit Graphic Hoodie at 40% off, which is a decent discount for anything Carhartt. I believe it's treated to shed a little bit of rainwater, but I wouldn't trust it in a downpour, of course. They got a nice selection of Hey Dudes. I don't have any of those dudes, but I do believe that some dudes like those dudes. And 25% off sounds okay to me. These look kind of interesting, these hiking boots from Ascend. They do have a decent Vibram sole, so they got that in there, but I'm always a little bit leery of generic brand hiking boots and shoes and footwear in general. But, you know, if you want a decent price, $80, that's okay. It's nothing amazing or to write home about, but it is cheaper than a lot of the shoes and hiking boots you'll see elsewhere. In the women's section, you're going to see a lot of similar items to what's on sale in the men's section, including that nice down jacket, but a ladies' version, and some Carhartt sweatshirts. I don't really give a rip about blankets, so I'm going to skip this page. But toys I can get behind, and Cabela's has some interesting toys for kids, the kind of toys I would have enjoyed as a child. Things like trucks and animals and action figures. At 25% off, these end up starting at around $10 or $11. For some of the nicer sets that I would have enjoyed, I think it's going to be double that even after the discount. But I really like the one where they have a dirt bike. My son's been getting into that lately, and I think he'd really enjoy that set. And of course, anything that is extra large and extra soft is highly desirable by my kids, so these giant 48-inch long stuffed fish would be a big hit in my house. They also have some soft furry woodland creatures. It's not just big gross octoped. Now, if you watched this video I did last year, you know I'm a sucker for these dadgum inflatables. My wife hates them, but my kids love them, so we team up. I really like the snowman with the fish, and I also like Santa Claus serving some snow cones at the bar. 25% off still makes some of these $75, but you know that's $75 worth of kicks and giggles to me. Now, for those of you that don't trust the weatherman, you might check out this weather station. This is a Wi-Fi wind and rain weather station. It'll tell you exactly how much precipitation you're getting wherever you set this up, say in your backyard, and what the wind is doing. Lots of good information in real time that'll connect to your phone so you can see it anywhere. No need to look outside anymore, just look at that phone and figure out what's going on. I wasn't super impressed by the food preservation items I saw there, except for this bundle. If you want to really just get started, this is a great bundle. At $160, you get a 3-banger. You get this heavy-duty vacuum sealer, although heavy-duty I think is a little bit generous, as well as a meat grinder and a slicer. I don't know that I'd be interested in paying full price for any one of those, but all 3 for $160 at less than half price starts to look like a bargain. Finally, some camping gear for every man. You got this Bass Pro Shops 10-person cabin tent for $150 instead of $220. Now, I don't expect this to be very high quality, but I do expect it to get you out in the woods and having a good time, at least in fair weather. However, do not count on putting 10 people in that tent. It will not be comfortable unless they are all very small. Something, though, that I might legitimately pick up myself during this sale is this cot. I love to try out different cots. I love me a good cot to sleep on when I'm camping. So $70 makes that a decent price. And then this 0-degree canvas sleeping bag also looks to be quite comfy. I recently just picked up a decent one of another brand from Teton Sports for myself, but I might need to add 1 or 2 of these for the family. I also already own some of this enamel tableware from StanSport. Mine are blue, but I think that green color is quite nice, and at $30 for a set for 4, that's not too bad. Not the best of deals, but I'd buy it. I don't really see anything else on this page that's really getting my goat, so let's move on. Oh boy, if you didn't like the fish finders you were seeing before, well, can I offer you a few more? Here are some with a discount all across the board from Garmin. You also have a couple of decent options from Humminbird. You got the Helix 9 at $900 if you're part of that club. That's $700 off, which sounds pretty good to me. Or you have the Helix 10 Mega SI Plus G4N, which was not available in the store when I saw it, so I assume they'll be pulling those out here soon for $1,200, normally $2,100. $900 off that. Sounds like a great buy. Now, they didn't have these out either. I'm guessing they're targeting these for the mothers and sisters and grandmas who want to get their boys something for fishing but don't know how to pick it. So it's just a box of surprise baits. That could be interesting, although none of them are a super smoking deal, and sometimes people would rather pick out one by one what they really want. But if you're looking for an easy gift, that could be an interesting option. This Fluger reel I couldn't find in the store yet either, but it looks to be like perhaps the best deal on a fishing reel at that store during this Black Friday sale. $60 compared to $100. That's 40% off, and I dare agree with them that this might be a special buy. Moving on, because you got to include them all, here's a couple more fish finder options from Lawrence. $1,400 off as a club member, but Jack Diddley Squad if you're not part of the club. Unless you want something basic, then maybe this Hook Reveal 9 triple shot will do the trick. I gotta be honest, I was expecting a little better deals on rods and reels this sale. 20% off doesn't seem that interesting to me. But you know, if you just want something basic to get the kids going, $40 for a spinning combo is about as good as you might expect. Same goes for these fly rod combos. This is really beginner stuff from Redington, but I was able to see that Wrangler fly combo in there for $100 off. That's gonna make it $150, which sounds okay. $100 for the Prestige fly combo, which hopefully they'll be pulling out by Black Friday. Now, I can use all the help I can get for target practice for upland game birds, so this clay pigeon thrower that's electronic and saves you a lot of arm muscle and time looks like a good deal at $330 compared to $450 normally. Wireless remote included, boy howdy. And 50% off some ear protection from Walkers isn't bad either. They're even electronic, so that's really going to help save your hearing. Now, as I've mentioned already, I'm kind of picky when it comes to rangefinders, but this Vortex Viper HD 3000 rangefinder looks to be a decent buy, $150 off, making it $250 total. That's going to have a pretty good range, more range than most of us are ever going to try to shoot at as a hunter, but that might be useful for target practice. And the Viper HD line offers a bit better glass than some of Vortex's other product lines like Diamondback or Crossfire. And oh boy, if you want to get into some rangefinder binoculars, here's the Kilo Canyon 5000 from Sig Sauer for only $500. Wow, that still sounds like a lot, but I guess indeed it is less than $800. If you're not satisfied with the basic version of the Multimobile game cameras or trail cameras that are available in a 2-pack, you can pay $10 more for one. This is the Multimobile Edge Pro cellular camera. It has a few different upgrades like a higher resolution camera, some other tech they build in there, as well as an infrared camera, which is really going to give you a better image for anything that walks by at night. So that could be pretty interesting if you're really into this. Despite all the trail camera deals they have, I think the Multimobile is the best value at this particular sale. Now you notice that 25% off isn't the best deal you're ever going to find on hunting waders, but we are in the height of waterfowl season, which explains why they might not be willing to drop the price too much. However, you can get some decent knockoff muck boots here. These are going to be okay. They looked good to me. However, they're not super thick, so they're not going to be as warm as some of the other insulated boots you're going to find out there, but they will get you through the muck and the mud just fine. And for 35 bucks, half off, that's not a bad deal at all. I took a look and feel at this high pile fleece hoodie in the store, and at 30 bucks, I think I'd say it's worth it. It's got that nice fuzzy fleece inside that feels real good to the touch, and it even has that in the hand pocket here. 50% off some basic cold weather gear like hand warmers, mittens, or a beanie is a decent deal as well. That put these at about 10 bucks each in the store after that 50% discount. And if you're not tempted by a fish finder yet, maybe the back page will finally get you, because here's another Lowrance one they gotta throw at you. But really the thing that I'm most interested in here are these Viper HD 10x42 binoculars from Vortex. I really like the 42 millimeter objective lens. It's a nice compact size, but that 10x power, that 10 power zoom, it gives you a really good all-around use without making them too heavy. And again, this Viper HD glass is pretty darn good. It's middle of the road for Vortex. And 200 bucks off a $500 pair of binoculars is a pretty good deal. All right, I hope you found something in there that's interesting to you. And if you didn't, well, good on you. You can just go spend Black Friday out in the woods like you should. Did you see anything else there that you liked? Well, let us know in the comments, and then keep an eye out for the other Black Friday deal videos that we'll be coming out with this week. Links below if any of this looks interesting to you, and sign up for our email newsletter called The Honey Hole. I send out the best outdoor gear deals I can find every single week of the year, not just Black Friday week, and it'll also enter you into our weekly used gear giveaways from stuff I've tested. I hope you'll survive Black Friday. Thanks for watching.